Insurance is a promise to pay. At Beacon, we keep our promise.
Renwick and Thompson and Subway.
Partner is the laundry detergent that gets the job done. This multi-purpose brand is designed with you in mind, catering to all your needs. The soap bar and liquid detergent was created and added to S. Kumar's line of products. This addition guarantees to be mild on the skin, allowing the bar soap to be used as a beauty bar and ideal for hand washing. The liquid soap with added softener leaves your clothes with a bright clean while removing all odor, dirt, and grease. The liquid soap is ideal for your appliances, ensuring great performance. For luxurious laundry detergent, choose a Partner.
We plan for every major life event, from birthday parties to baptisms, and celebrating a life well lived deserves the same thoughtful planning. Beacon's Rest Easy plan is designed to give your loved ones the comfort of knowing that they can do just that. With no underwriting and cover for up to 6 family members that includes certain injuries, this plan can be yours for as little as 75 cents per day. Call us at Beacon or log on to beacon.co.tt for more info today.
2 times 2 is 4. 2 times 3 is 6.
Education multiplies their chances and places the world of opportunity in their hands. No matter where they are in the world, make sure they're prepared for their journey back to school with Western Union. School fees, books, room and board, whatever the reason. Knowledge, independence, opportunity. Western Union, moving money for better.
And good morning, everybody. I trust everyone is well. It is Monday, November 22nd. I think we've got another Monday to go. 30 days of September, April, June, and November. All right, so next Tuesday will be the 30th. So we still got another weekend in November, another Monday. Nevertheless, it is the 22nd. And I just want to say happy birthday to all those celebrating birthdays, all the Scorpios, or all those who celebrated on the weekend. Good morning to each and every one of you. Good morning, Leno. Good morning, Roseanne. Good morning, Sonia, Patrice Alexander, Natty Nicholas. Good morning, Brian Nicholas. Natty and Brian, y'all related? Jocelyn Langdon, good morning. Gieds, good morning. Lydia, good morning. Mia, good morning from the USA. Queen Bee, good morning. Linda Pearl, good morning, good morning. Come on in the room, guys, and share the live. You see the label, right? It's Freestyle Monday. Good morning, Nerissa. Hope all is well on your end. Sending some sunshine your way. Good morning, Kalisha. Good morning, Nyasha, Toolkins, Douglas, Shauna, you on this Alari life thingy? The other day I saw the name came up and I had to go search. I'm like, who the heck is Alari? I don't know this person. And then I'm like, Shauna, like, really? Alari? Who is Alari, or what is Alari? Anyways, Andrea, good morning. Thank you so much. Good morning, Ambika. Good morning, all. Come on in the room and share the live. We've got a lot to talk about this morning. A lot of catching up to do. Of course, last week we were pretty busy, didn't get a chance to, do our little Monday talks and what have you, because the entire week we had guests. We had, folks on the program last week. So today I'm like, let me just use it to connect and see what's going on. And of course, touch base with a couple of things, that's happening out there. Alana Bosan, good morning. And thank you so much. Let me take down my music one, because thank you so much, Lydia. My inbox is literally filled. I've lost count of the amount of tags I got in reference to the press conference yesterday and the congratulations. And while I am thankful for, the congratulations and, job well done, it made me feel, on one hand, I felt good, but on the other hand, I felt sad. And let me explain why I felt sad. Because to me, what I didn't see it as a big deal. To me, I saw it as, okay, these are things that we need to know about. These are things, questions, you hear, if you're on social media, you see people, having gripes with these things. So it's sort of, and this is in no way intended to bash or offend anyone. If it's taken that way, my apologies in advance. But nevertheless, you know what? Let me not apologize. Nobody apologizes to me. On one hand, it feels good, but on the other hand, I feel sort of sad because to me, if you're going into a press conference, doesn't matter who's having it, whether it's a prime minister, whether it's whoever, the whole purpose is to ask questions that are relevant, that are happening. So when I see people, telling me, good job, and I'm like, for what? Isn't that what's supposed to be done? It just goes to show that it seems as though there is a sort of disconnect with our press or journalists or whoever and our people on the ground or locals or folks out there in the U.S., wherever you are, and that we probably aren't representing their interests in a meaningful way, or maybe because, to be honest, I was sort of hesitant to go. I'm not going to lie. I was really hesitant because I know how these things go. And then you start having little sticky paper to put on your back and attached to you. So I've stayed away from these things for years. It's not the first invite, numerous, and I've stayed away. And I prefer to do one-on-one. So like, hey, Mr. Prime Minister, come on the show. Let's talk, But my thing is, over the years, I've heard folks saying, well, when you go to press conferences, they give you stuff to ask, or you're given a guideline or whatever questions to ask, and you have to fall in line. And I was not told or given any guidelines. All I know was invited, and I attended, because if for whatever reason I was told, well, this is what you have to ask, there was no way I was even going to be there. There was no way I was going to accept the invitation if I'm given a list of questions to ask, because to me, and I have an issue with that as well with interviews, because I'm like, okay, if I'm having a conversation with you and I'm interviewing you and you're going to tell me what to ask, you might as well come sit here, ask yourself the question yourself and answer it yourself. Sometimes I like when I'm given, okay, maybe for instance, if I have an interview and I'll request, okay, anything in particular you'd like me to ask or surrounding your field, or sometimes the questions are more meant to be like guidelines, and I'll format my own questions around it because it helps sometimes. But into a forum like that, where you're addressing someone who is basically the manager of a country, and if I'm to be given any questions to ask that person, I would decline. So I just wanted to put that out there, based on a couple questions I saw coming in my inbox, if I was told what to ask or what not to ask. No. Nobody helped me. Nobody gave me no question, nothing. As I said, I'm on radio. I'm active on social media. I know what's trending, and what I ask are things that affects me as well. And that has been, unless you're living under a rock, these are questions that people have been posing for the past couple months, and we've seen it. We've seen what's been happening only last week. We had the new price increases in petrol and what have you. So these are things that, we wanna know about. So like I said, when you go there, it's not about you. You're representing, whether it's your viewers, your listeners, your readers. So I'm not sure why there is this disconnect and why people are not, I don't know. Because it's not as if you're going there for yourself. It's not as if you're going there. And even if you are, I'm still trying to figure out, why, people, my inbox are filled and people are like, like I said, I'm not a journalist, but the courses that I did, when I went to China, etc., to me, there are always some guidelines, the who, where, when, what, why, the 5 W's that you follow. It's basic. And you follow that. I'm not sure, maybe people are intimidated, or they're afraid, or they don't want to look like the white elephant, whatever it is. But if you're in a field that requires you being that way, you have to be that way. It might be unpopular, but at the end of the day, you got the job done, and too many times in this life, we do things to appease, and we do things to make people like us. And even though it's not something you want to do, you do it because, you're afraid of what the people will say, or it'll make you this, outcast. Too many people are trying to fit in. I mean, the room is filled with people trying to fit in. That's why I like being on the outskirts looking in. Too many people are trying to fit into this, what you're supposed to be like, based on what other people think you should be. We have so many followers and less leaders. This beautiful rock is crying and begging for leadership in practically almost every area you can think about. Everybody wants to fit in. Everybody wants to have this little clique. I don't belong to no clique. I stand alone. Everybody wants to be in a little circle and to feel as though they're part of something, and you have to toe the line to fit in. Why? What is this need, especially when you're an adult? What is this need to fit in or to be liked or to be whatever? When you're a child, when you're like teen, in your teens, and you're looking to belong, that's okay, Even then, you still need to have your own mind, You still have to be able to think for yourself. So when you're a little tiny tot, and then you kindergarten, and then you're primary, you want to have your little bunch of friends and stuff like that. But as you get older, what is this need to constantly have friends and and people liking what you do and liking you? And why is people's approval so important? And these are people that don't contribute in any way, shape, or form to your development, to your growth, to if you can't pay a bill, if you can't pay Grand Leg this month, they're in no position to even assist you. So why is this need? Why are people so trying to fit in? Why? Retaliation from what, though? Somebody said plenty chiefs and little or no Indians. You need Indians. Everybody can't be chiefs and everybody can't be Indians. You need a mix of both. But I'm just trying to figure out, why is this need to fit in? I've gotten so used to even if I didn't like it before, listen, like I said to folks, while some are complaining about COVID and lockdown, I ain't gonna lie, that was the best time of my life. It was seriously the best year of my life. Not having to do anything I don't want to do, go anywhere, but just, be at peace with yourself and be one with you, and not necessarily, have somebody by your side constantly 24/7. There are some people that are afraid to be alone. I don't know why. Sometimes I see my phone ringing, or I see people messaging me, and some people are happy and excited when people are calling and messaging them. I'm gonna lie, sometimes when I see my phone going off, I'm actually annoyed. Because it's like, especially when I'm home, it feels like you're disturbing my time, my peace, And there are people who want to sit and talk. If you want me as a friend, one thing you need to be prepared for. We are not going to speak every day, one. Two, we are not going to be on the phone constantly throughout the day. I don't like talking on the phone. I might quicker respond to a text, but especially when people just call you, like, I hope I'm not the only one who feels that way. Like, especially random people, like when they just call you. Like out of nowhere, you just see your phone ringing. And it's not even an emergency to ask you some nonsensical question or something. It's not even important. But I ain't gonna lie, when my phone rings when I'm at home, I actually get annoyed. I'll quicker respond to a text faster than I respond to a call. And it's like people think that when they call you or message you, you have to respond immediately. Like you don't have anything going on. You're just sitting there waiting in anticipation for somebody to message you. No. Why are people so afraid of being by themselves? You realize the less crowd you have around you, the less dramatic your life is, how less chaotic your life is, and you're more at peace when you have less. And you know that saying, less is more? Less is really more. It's always when you have the more people around you, there's always something. And it brings me back to my earlier years when I had a bunch of friends. It is always something. It's always this person say, this person say you say, this person say you didn't say, and and you have to spend how much time trying to defend yourself. And it was just too much. But now where I'm at is like the people that I have in my corner, I know without a doubt if I say something, I don't have to backtrack or try to retrace my steps to see what I wonder which one of them said something. I wonder which one of them went back and said I said. I don't have to do that because I know exactly who I speak to. Say for chance I heard what I said repeated, I know exactly who to go to because I know who I speak to. But when you're talking to everybody and then your business is out there, you are now left to connect the dots to find out who said what, and that is just too much work. I'm not saying you have to isolate yourself completely. You're a human being. We need that touch. We need to, you need that connection. But it's like every day, there's some people every day they have to be around people or they want people around them. Like, why? And then again, somebody says that's a true trait of an Aquarian. I don't know. Debbie, I said random people. I never said I'm not speaking about people that know you. I'm talking about just a random call, especially on Messenger. I don't just call people. I always, especially if is it okay if I call you now? Maybe that's just me. It's two different things. When you say, but you never know why someone is calling. Sometimes they just need to talk, and just having you listen will help. Listen. If you were in my shoe, maybe that would work for you. But if you were in my shoe, if I were to do that every day, I will never have a peaceful moment or any time for myself. One day I'll just give you my phone and you'll see and you'll understand why I feel the way I do. Because we're not only talking about calling, we're talking about Facebook, we're talking about Instagram, we're talking about WhatsApp. So I've reached a point where my phone is now on silent because especially in 2021 and coming out of the year I had in 2020, I had to make that conscious decision that you cannot be there for everybody because sometimes you end up depleted, and that is how I found myself. That is the position I found myself in. You're always available to talk, to give advice, and you keep on pouring and pouring into people. But who's pouring into you? People always want you to talk and listen, but I had to do that for my own sanity. You can't always give people a time that when they want to talk or when they feel they know it's time for them to talk or what have you. Because when you do that, you keep pouring and pouring and pouring into people. And when you fill a glass, what do you do? When you're pouring out of a bottle, like you have a water bottle and you're pouring into it, what happens when you look at you have to refill that bottle, right? And if nobody's refilling, and if you're not refilling your own bottle, what's going to happen? You're going to be empty. You're going to be depleted while you're filling other people. And for years, that's what I've been doing, filling other people. Always there to talk, always there in my inbox. Sometimes all hours of the morning, night, you're there. People want somebody to talk to, somebody to listen to, and you're there, constantly there. And you're going through your stress as well. Because people seem to think that, oh, okay, this person on radio, this person that they have no problems. You going through your own stress, and imagine you have your own stress that you can't really talk about, and then somebody coming and pouring more stress on top of that stress. Listen, call me selfish, but it's necessary sometimes to be selfish. Self first. And we always go back to that analogy when you're on an airplane. The air hostess never says to you, help the person next to you first, put on their mask. They always say to you, put on yours first, and then you can assist somebody else. They never ever say to you, make sure that your neighbor make sure that the person sitting next to you on the airplane put on their mask first. They never say that. They always say you put on yours first and then assist. There are some people that, you're always there, but sometimes you have to be there for you too, and too many people are not being there for themselves. You're always there for everybody else. You got to take time on you. Got to take care of your mental health. Don't look at somebody looking all confident and all happy and think that's all that person have no worries, no problems, that they're good. Because most of the times how many people ask you if you're okay? Or if you're good? Like, how? Before they offload on you. Most people don't care whether you have problems or not. They just want to make sure they have somebody they can offload on. And then they offload on you, and then they feel lighter, and they bounce, and they're holding on to their weight. That's what a lot of people do. They offload on you, and then they move on. The weight has been removed. You probably guide them. You probably direct them. You probably gave them advice. You made them feel better. They were on the brink of doing something, and you take that stress away from them, and now you holding on to that stress. And you hold on to it, and it is not going anywhere, and you end up stressed and carrying that person's burden. So you have to know when it's time to take a me time, take a step back and say, you know what, I'm disconnecting. I'm not doing this today. Today is my day. Because you can't always be there for everybody. You have to take time out for you yourself and take time to breathe and reason with yourself if that's necessary. Because sometimes the same people who are offloading on you, you can't even offload on them. When you're going through a process, you can't even talk to them. You can't even call them and ask them for some sort of advice or support. So it's about balance. It is about balance. You can't just, give all the time. If somebody wants something, they know where to find you. And when it's your turn, you can't find them. But anyway, I digress as always. So going back to yesterday. And like I said, some of the concerns raised, these are things that people are were genuinely concerned about. And PM says that the budget, the Minister of Finance will have something in there pertaining to that. I sincerely hope so, because at the stage we are going, I may have to figure out which gas I'm working with, either gas pain or gas problem, because it's like, I need to ask him that. I really wish I could have a one-on-one with him, because I was about to ask him if pretty soon we might have to change the national dish from oil down, because pigtail is now $10 and cents going up the road. Y'all ain't taking this thing seriously, because nobody ain't making no oil down for me and ain't have pigtail in it. Because somebody talk about oil down, they tell me they put him back and neck alone. Like, what? Who you giving oil down with back and neck alone? Pigtail is Mr. Pigtail. Before you got 2 or 3 pieces of pigtail for 4 something, 5 something. Now, pigtail is 9, 2 little pieces of pigtail in the tray thing. 9 and 10 something for pigtail, So if somebody cook oil down now and they ain't give you, or they ain't offer you, or they ain't invite you, you can't vex, You cannot be upset if people say to you, hey, I make a small pot, but I can't give you because the meat's scarce in it. So it's almost like you're going to have to choose pretty soon. Do I suffer with gas, or do I put gas in my vehicle? Because $100 does absolutely nothing for you anymore. You go into the supermarket and you barely have, what you call those bags? The biodegradable bags now. And your hand barely, there's hardly any effort to carry that bag. Today you go to the supermarket, you see something for $3.20. Tomorrow you go, you see it for $5. From 3 to 5 every single day. And to me, these are things that people should be talking about. These are the things that matters. When it comes to bread and butter issues, these are the things that people need to be speaking up more on. How someone with a family of 5 or 6 making probably $1,200 or $1,500, your electricity bill from 1 something to now 2 and 3 something, your water from $50 to now $100 and something dollars. your grocery bill probably 300 a week or something. Now it's like 500 a week. How are people doing it? And I don't want to hear the comparisons, because as soon as you start talking and you start posting those things, oh, it's like that all over. I don't live all over the world. I live here. You deal with what it's like on your end. You speak on it on your end. But I hate when people start with this, oh, well, that's the way it is. I am not all over the world. I absolutely hate when you're having a conversation or a discussion and people throwing in, well, it's like that and it's like that day and it's like that in America. And I ain't living in America. I ain't getting paid fortnightly or weekly. Most of you who are in the United States of America and other places who get paid weekly, y'all seriously trying to do the comparison with people who get paid monthly? Every week y'all have something in your pocket. You have to wait a whole month to get paid. So there's no comparison. And even if it is still high on your end, it is still no comparison. Because what you're getting for $3, 3 US is how much? If 3 US is like 2, 4, 6, like $11, $12, somewhere thereabouts. And that item costs 20 something dollars here. There is no comparison. So here's somebody saying it's not only in Grenada, gas prices are going up all over the world. Same here in England, the price. Well, that is understandable. We live in Grenada. So we can't say, okay, some are saying, well, we shouldn't talk about it because it's happening all over the world and it's no fault of anybody else, so we shouldn't talk about it. Hello? When I have to find $200 extra that I probably had put, that I usually put for something else, to put it towards electricity, or I have to now put it toward gas, where am I getting that $200 to eat? It's happening all over the world. I guess wherever you live, you're going to have to deal with it. If it's not affecting you, then okay. If it's affecting you, then you speak on how it's affecting you with the increase in prices on your end. Rosen says she's paid $11.48 for a pound of pigtail on Saturday. My point is, if you live somewhere and something affects you, you can only speak on it there. I don't live in America. I don't live in England. I don't live in Canada. So I can't speak on how it affects me there, but it affects me here. So I can speak on it here. So I don't think it's a fair statement to make every time you post these things about, oh, it's happening all over the world. We don't live all over the world. All over the world have other benefits that we certainly don't have here. So there's still no comparison. The benefits y'all get over there compared to, it's like apple and beans. There's no comparison. Andrea says, but not all over the world there is a $5.50 petrol tax on every single gallon of gas. My point. Listen, when you get paid at the end of the month, it's just to collect the money. But after that, it's not yours. Sometimes you work and you wish month never end. Because at the end of the month, you have a million things to do, a million bills to pay. And as long as the end of the month ain't come, you're not to pay it. I dread when the month ends. People are happy for month end to get paid, unless you seem like you're getting like a real nice, cushy salary. You'll be happy because, you have something nice and tangible to put away. But when it's like basically everybody's living hand to mouth, you get it and it's gone. It hits the bank and then it's gone. If you have a loan to pay, the bank take the money and what you have left, you have to give everybody, like my friend said, you have to pay your bills in drips these days. You can't kill yourself and you can't force yourself. You have to pay it in drips. You give Grand Lake some, you give Nawasa some, you give whoever else you owe some, but you can't give everybody all. It's on drips we're living. So if people want to be use politics and bury their head in the sand and make excuses. At the end of the day, you know what? I honestly see it this way. If something is affecting you, if something is not working, it's not working, irrespective of who you support. And I would love if I'm in a leadership position and people can say to me, I don't like this, or this is what. How are you going to be in a leadership position and you're just okay with people? Everybody's yes, 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 and everybody just saying things that makes you feel good and flatters you. If you're not doing good, how are you going to know? How are you going to know if you're not doing well, if everybody around you constantly makes you think that everything is okay and you're doing such a wonderful, fabulous job? And these are the people who are supposed to put you in check. Say, hey, we're on the ground. This is not happening. This is... You can support whoever you want to. But if things are not going a particular way, or things you are affected by certain things, you should be at liberty of feel free to speak on it. I don't understand why we have this fear of speaking on things, because then again, like I said, I won't tell nobody thanks, so I don't have to worry about that. That is why I don't want to be in a position where you have to tell anybody thank you, and then you can't say anything. That is one of the disadvantages of having to tell somebody thank you. If you don't have to tell anybody thank you, and you're working for whatever you have, you're in a better position to speak on certain things. So it's important. We got the highest price for gas in the OECS with a huge difference in the prices. Gina says, all complaints are valid. Because I did some checking. St. Vincent is right there. You're staying here and spit in St. Vincent. And other places. So, our complaints are valid. Because when you have to find that extra money, it's not coming, you're not getting it from anywhere. Most people here don't do 2 and 3 jobs. Most people do one job, 8 to 4 or 9 to 5. Some are lucky to have other side hustles. That's why it's important to have other skills. So you can, as old people say, turn your hand in other areas, and you're not solely, because you honestly can't rely on one salary anymore. You honestly cannot rely on one salary anymore. You have to find other ways to like block a hole, to prop up what you already have. You just can't survive on one salary anymore. You can't. Otherwise, you're constantly hungry. Back in the day, well, don't even talk about ham. Thank God there's a particular supermarket that do a little slice of ham. So that's the only way I'll be eating ham this year. Get a couple slices, because remember the days you used to have $40 ham? Used to get a nice stick of ham for $40, and the most would be $50 and $60. And if you want like a big one, might be $70. Now a small ham is $100 and something. So I'm grateful for this particular supermarket that do a little slice ham. So that's the only way I'll be eating any salt ham, because there's no way. And this is something that you look forward to at Christmas time. You look forward to having your ham and what have you, buy your ham, but there's a lot of things you have to cut back on. And you're not seeing anything else coming in to prop it up. So at the end of the day, like I said, regardless of who you support, who you don't support, if something is not working, it's not working. And we will always have the problem if the people who are meant or supposed to say it's not working are the ones saying it's working. We will always have the problem. Remember time, remind me, Eddie used to give the story about when, what's his name? Uncle Gary said that he bringing the banana boat up in Paradise River. And people in the audience started to clap and say, yay. And they were actually happy. Although they knew no boat could go up Paradise River, they actually clapped and was happy, knowing fully well that no banana boat can go Paradise River. And instead of telling the man, listen, now ain't making sense what you're saying there. Everybody else clapping and yay. Why a banana boat going up the river? And people in the audience laughing and clapping and saying, yay. That is what I mean. If something is not working, say it's not. Stop fooling and misleading people. Because a lot of the problems that's occurring is people who are supposed to tell you these things, they're not telling you. You know? Anywho's, I think I talk enough. I can go about my business. What is this one telling me? Let me hear what I want to have to say before I go. Your money was just bung away, so I kind of afraid to even first play.
Tell them raise with salary all over the world too. That's what I do. Raise with salary. Some of them boss man and them can't buy ham this year. I don't understand. Every day something going up, our salary can't go up. There's no comparison. Like I know, he draft.
That is another thing too. That is another conversation. Anyways, thank you so much, guys, for listening to my rant and rave, and according to Black Wizard, misbehave. And again, thanks for the well wishes, and thanks for all the compliments and all of that. But my thing still remains that this should come with a job. This should be something that is expected and done. So it shouldn't be like people feel like it's a surprise, or you feel like, oh yeah, and all those things. It should come, but for some reason it's not. I hope we can get to that place. I really hope, because we can do so much better on this rock. We've come some ways, so we still got a long way to go, Anyways, thank you, Beacon Insurance. Thank you, Eskumar Variety Store and Western Union. Thank you so very much for being here with us. And thank you so much to everyone in the room. Yeah, you guys are just talking away today. Anyway, appreciate you. All right, so we'll see you tomorrow. Same time, same place. Hey, Richard Hosford. Yeah, my old childhood friend. Hope you are well. Have never seen you on my live. Well, welcome. Never seen you on my live. Anyways, see you guys tomorrow, same time, same place for another show. All right.